What is going on, everyone? Nick or Catalyst here. Thank you so much for tuning in and clicking on this video. I hope you all are having a fantastic Thursday so far. Happy early start to the weekend. And if you are like me, I just woke up to the news that Battlefield 5 has been delayed. And I'm just going to talk to you all a little bit right now about my initial feelings about this. This is going to be an unscripted video, just my thoughts, deadpan, right, dead out of the water. Of course, I did just wake up, as I said earlier, so I'm not going to be completely reactionary to the news. I have my cup of coffee right here. But either way, this is some really interesting news that we have coming out of DICE and EA, their decision to delay Battlefield 5. And in my personal opinion, I don't think that anything better could have happened to this game besides this. I think that this is the best move that DICE and EA could have possibly taken en route to launch day, which of course, as I mentioned earlier, has been moved back to November 20th. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are asking, and I'm going to get this right out of the way first because this was my initial question, which is the beta still going to be September 6th? Yes, the beta is still going to be September 6th and September 4th if you are early access and you've pre-ordered Battlefield 5. So you don't have to worry about that if you have pre-ordered the game or you're just really excited for the open beta. The open beta is going to remain the same unless an unforeseen circumstance over the next week and a half or so changes it to where they have to move the open beta back. So I'm really super excited for that. Just a little over a week away. You can be damn sure that when that comes out, I'm going to be streaming, I'm going to be uploading, I'm going to try and get as much content out as I can, so you guys can have all that you need to know, of course, about the beta and hopefully a little bit more about Battlefield 5. And of course, I know that the beta isn't final, of course, and everything is very subject to change, but, a lot of things may stay the same and a lot of things may be different, and, it's going to be really interesting to see what a competitive player like myself can do when he gets his hand on this game, and I can give a better insight into how this game is working in comparison to Battlefield 1 and prior titles. And basically what I'm trying to say is I'm very excited to get my hands on it and give you all some really fantastic content as well as some insight as to how this game is going to be operating for the near and distant future, of course, adhering to any changes. But I also want to talk about kind of some of the reasons why I think that this delay is really good for Battlefield 5. And I was planning on making a video sometime earlier in this week or maybe later in the week, but I think this video is going to probably replace that because it's going to kind of walk over and touch on some of the same things that I was going to talk about. And that's the fact that I think that DICE and EA are kind of in damage control right now, and I don't see that this delay as necessarily a positive thing. Although it is a positive thing, but it is more of a reactionary thing that is going to, in the end, really save Battlefield 5. And I say this because it's very easy as a community member, and especially as somebody who has been eagerly, waiting for this game and watching every single trailer and reading every single article and really being anxious about this game. From somebody who has been covering this, I can see kind of the cracks and flaws in what has been happening, and of course, some of these these cracks and flaws are super big, and everybody's noticing them. So you have the political correctness, the SJW stuff. I already made a video on that earlier. I did have to take that down because it was bringing in some unwanted negative attention. It was very toxic, and people are pissed about it, and as they should be. As I get this guy back for teabagging me, but of course, there is the SJW stuff, the political correctness, and there's just also the general marketing failure by DICE and EA with this game that has really scared a lot of people off. But then, that's probably one of the main reasons why they're pushing this game back, I would imagine. And it's not, they can say that, oh, we're just trying to make this game a better product, or just trying to fix up the game, when the reality is that they're not fooling anybody. I wouldn't want to release my game in the middle of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Black Ops 4 either. But I also want to emphasize the point that sometimes pre-orders aren't everything as they seem. I want to remind you all that even though there have been stories about Battlefield being 85% behind or something like that, behind Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2, that pre-orders don't necessarily mean anything, especially when you take into account that Black Ops 4 had a whole bunch more of pre-order incentives than Battlefield 5 did. You know, you want to talk about the things that Black Ops 4 players got in Black Ops 3. They got extra maps, they got, I believe, a few extra weapons, and then the only way to access the private beta was also through a pre-order. So I'm a gamer, I know how this works. I know a whole bunch of people went to GameStop to get their pre-order, and now they're going to go back now that the Black Ops 4 beta is over, and they're going to cancel their pre-order. So numbers can be very, very deceiving, but that does not distract you from the fact that generally, yes, Battlefield 5 is very, very much so behind in hype, and it's very, very much so behind in pre-orders, as I'm sure, just because of how poorly DICE has handled Battlefield 5 and how they've handled the marketing and all that. So even if you're told yes, you know, or excuse me, even if you're told no, this is not because of a marketing issue, this is 100% because of a marketing issue. And of course, you do want to take time to realize that your game needs to be very, very good. And if I had to choose one, I of course would choose having a well-working game instead of a game that launches in between Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2 and sucks, because the one thing that you can't recover from is if you're launching in that window and your game sucks, you're not getting back those players. They are gonna definitely go off and play Red Dead Redemption or Black Ops 4, and you're not gonna get those players back. So launch in a different window, make sure the game is good so you can win over some of those players like myself who have been doubting at times that this game is going to be good or anything close to the Battlefield experience that we all deserve. And of course, in this new release window, Battlefield 5 will only have to be competing with Fallout 76, which doesn't really directly compete with Battlefield 5. So that's going to automatically increase the sales for Battlefield 5, or at least theoretically it should. But I think more than anything else, even if this is a marketing issue, like I've been hinting that I think that it is, and I think that it's a safe face for DICE to step away from some of the idiotic comments that have been said about the community. You know, if you don't like it, don't buy it. You know, you're not educated, all that stuff. It gives DICE some time to step away from that, get that out of the air, because it's a very prevalent right now. It gives DICE a chance to step back, work on the game, work what they know, and make this game the best game that it can be. Because I've been playing Battlefield for a long time, and I do greatly so remember the atrocity that was the launch of Battlefield 4. And I'm sure that DICE does not want to repeat that, because as I said earlier, you can have this game, and if this game is going to have those issues like Battlefield 4 did, because this game is not ready, it doesn't matter how good your marketing is from this point to the day of release. It doesn't matter how much face that you've saved. The players that are going to try this game out of maybe, I guess, a gesture of faith in DICE and EA, if this game is broken, you're losing those players, you're losing those consumers, and it's just not going to work out very well. And this game has some fantastic potential. It looks incredible, and it looks like it's going to play great, but of course, it looks like that. A lot of people have not gotten their hands on this game, and they won't get their hands on this game until the open beta a week and some change from now. So this is going to be a really good thing for Battlefield 5. You know, it's a necessary thing. It's not necessarily a positive thing, but I do think that this was the right call. It is necessary for this game to be delayed so it doesn't have to directly compete with some other developers and some other AAA games, and it gives some time for Battlefield and for DICE and EA to get their ish together and make a game that all of Battlefield, all of the community deserves and have been asking for the past couple months. So that brings the conclusion to the video. I've been probably rambling for about 9 minutes or now. I hope that's all coherent for you. If you did like this video, make sure that you do drop a like on it. I might be streaming later this afternoon, so be on the lookout for that. Come and say hi, come and say hey, I came from the video, and if you are new here and you like this stuff, make sure that you subscribe. I'm going to be uploading a whole much more on the road to Battlefield 5, and I would love for you all to join me. Also, make sure you turn on post notifications so you never miss any of that stuff. My name is Nicker Catalyst. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all another time.
There goes that balloon boys looking jumpy with all sleeves growing. Spit down that long back, you would have thought that if you got the one, shoot through with the fist up, your little kiss up.